Hey everybody, this is Flavio Romeo, and on this episode of the Towncast, we had the opportunity of going to the municipal building in Hawthorne, New Jersey, and talking to Mayor John Lane, and we talked about the community and the things that he's accomplished over the last almost 4 years, the fire department, the ambulance corps, the police department, and so much more. All right, enjoy the episode, everybody. So here we are in the inner sanctum of the municipal building in Hawthorne, New Jersey, and I'm here with Mayor John Lane. Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for giving us the time. Now, if you don't know, we just celebrated, the Towncast celebrated their 5th anniversary, and one of the first interviews that first year, they were all audio. And we had the opportunity of talking to Mayor Lane 100 days into his administration.
Right.
You know, I figured if they could do it for the president, we should be able to do it for the mayor.
Correct.
And I know, you know, it's difficult when you start any new job, you know, just getting your feet wet, trying to understand. But when all of a sudden it's, oh, now I'm the mayor of a town, I imagine that the challenges are so much bigger. How was it when you first came in, that first year of trying to figure out what's going on, what am I doing? You know, you've got a staff now that you don't know yet. How was that first year?
It was, you know, it was kind of a little difficult at times. I mean, I was a council person for 22 years before that, but a council person's job and a mayor's job is 100% different.
Yeah.
You know, now you're in charge of the entire borough. All the employees, everything that goes on.
Because the council, you have certain wards, right, or zones.
You have 4 council people that are in charge of their ward. We have 4 wards, and then you have 3 council members who are basically a council person at large.
Okay.
When I was on the council, I was a council person at large, so that's like the whole borough.
Okay. So you're overseeing everything that's going on.
As a council person,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And you know, it was challenging. My first year in office, to get to know the employees, to get to know the workings of being a mayor, working with my administrator, working with the department heads in the building. And one thing I have to say though is my department heads and my employees in the building are very, very good workers. I don't have any problem with them. They do their job. Do they come and see me because they have a question here or there, or the administrator? Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
I am here full time. I think now I'm the only one possibly who, you know, made the position full time because I feel a dedication to the borough because of what the borough has given to me all my years. I've born and raised here.
Yeah. So I was just going to ask. You were born and raised in Hawthorne.
Born and raised in Hawthorne.
What year did you graduate high school?
1967.
Class of 1967. Shout out. 2 years from now, it's your 50. It's your 50.
Yeah.
So it's 67. It'll be your 60th in 2 years.
Yeah.
Wow. You don't
Yeah.
look a day over 50.
Yeah.
We could be brothers.
But no, it's you know, it's good, and you know, I guess I'll say I hit the ground running, and I have a very good staff. The administrator is good. My administrative assistant is excellent. I'm happy with the people that are working for the borough to help the residents of the borough, because
Well, and I have to shout out Ellen Brogno because she's the front line, and she has been outstanding. You know, even before, you know, the Towncast and all, that's just, you have a question, she's there to help. Everybody in the whole office is so eager to help. It's been amazing. And I'm going to brag a little bit about the mayor. So I heard this story. I don't know if he knows that I know the story, but I'm going to share it. There was a woman that had called the mayor's office, and that's the other beauty. You know, in small towns, to me, in small towns, it's not about political parties.
Right.
It's about community. And this is a beautiful story, a beautiful example of that. So a woman had called up in a panic because she needed to get to the doctor's office, and she didn't have a ride. Her ride fell through. She didn't know what to do. She was in a panic and called the mayor's office. And I'm going to let you tell everything else that happened. You know the story I'm referring to.
Yes.
So the woman had called up in a panic, and I don't know. You tell me what happened.
She is a senior citizen. She called up and she wanted to ask if I knew of anybody that could give her a ride to the doctor's office. The doctor's office was in Ridgewood, and I said, well, let me make some phone calls for you, and I'll get right back to you. So I called and I spoke with the director of paratransit in the county.
And what is paratransit?
That's a service that the county has offered to anyone to visit doctors when the senior luncheon that we have and get together at the ambulance building every day. If you don't have a ride there,
Really?
they'll come. You have to make arrangements with the lady who oversees that every day. They'll come to your home, pick you up, bring it to the ambulance building. When you're all done, they'll come back, pick you up, and bring you back home, all at no cost at all.
I'm gonna post a number here that people can call if they need that kind of service. That's amazing. I didn't know the county
They have to call the lady at the ambulance building.
at the ambulance building.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll put that number down here. I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, that exists. But anyway, getting back to it.
So you contacted them.
I spoke with the director of the paratransit in Passaic County in Patterson, and the gentleman said, "Sure, no problem, Mayor. How can we help you?" And I explained everything, and he said, "Okay, give me the information of the lady," and I did, the address and everything, and you can call her back and just tell her that I'll be calling her tomorrow, so she's not afraid who's going to call
Sure.
her. That took place. The county picked her up, brought her to the doctor's office in Ridgewood, and her granddaughter then was able to pick her up and bring her home, and she was just elated that we, not just me, we did this here in Hawthorne for
Yeah.
one of our residents. And, that's just, I would say a tip of the iceberg of the services that we are able to provide for our seniors, our residents. Doesn't matter what your age is. Doesn't matter.
And oftentimes you hear more, and this is on all social platforms, all social media, no matter what it is, you hear the negative before you hear the positive.
Right.
You get a lot more negative comments and a lot more negative criticism before you receive the positive ones. But I understand also that the woman had written you a note, a note of thanks.
She sent me a thank you note, and she also sent one to Ellen for Ellen being so kind and getting some of the items worked out so that she would be able to see her doctor.
And I'm going to brag a little bit about the mayor because I was going through it, and you didn't mention when we were going through the resume, you didn't mention the 22 years in council, but just to understand, he spent 24. First of all, he spent 24 years with your own electrical company.
Correct.
Lane Electric for 24 years. 24 years on the ambulance corps, 55 years on the fire department, and you had a nice presentation there 5 years ago. He was on the Chamber of Commerce for 50 years, on the school board for 9 years, and now almost 4 years as mayor. You didn't learn enough from all that other stuff to not keep going.
Yeah.
But it's a servant's heart, and not everybody has it. Not everybody has that desire to serve, and you could see by the resume what you've done for the community, and it's always been in Hawthorne. I mean, you're just a Hawthorne born and bred, and
Margot and I, my wife, we lived here all our lives.
Did she go to high school here too?
Yes.
She grew up here too?
Yeah.
Oh no, we won't. She was probably like class of 80 or 75, right? Something like that.
She was 68.
68. Look at that. So yeah, you have some big reunions coming up.
Yes.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
would have been at mine. I graduated in '80. It would have been my 45th year. We were going to do it the 40th year, but the pandemic hit. So I think we're going to wait for the big 50th.
Okay.
5 years.
That's good.
So you've done this now. It's almost 4 years. The election's coming up. Are you going to run? You're going to run again for office?
Yes, I am.
So you're going to run for re-election. In those 4 years, what would you say has been like the biggest challenge once once you got your feet wet and you understood what was going on in the community? Is there anything that
Well, every day is actually a challenge because I come to the office, you don't
You
you
don't
don't
know.
know what's going to happen, whether somebody's going to come into the office or whether somebody's going to call you on the phone, or just you know just being able to help. I mean, I do. Sometimes if I'm not in a meeting or anything and there's an ambulance call, I do leave and get the ambulance out with another person or two to assist whatever medical needs that they need
Yeah.
to do. But it's you know it's rewarding to me that I'm helping people. To me, that's the biggest thing. Doesn't matter who you are. I'll help you in any way that I can.
Yeah, and that's the beauty. That's one of the things I love about not only my hometown but any of these small communities is that desire to help people, desire to help the community, and just as an example, that older woman. I mean, I would have never thought to call the mayor and say I need help, I need a ride. You know what I mean? I will exhaust all the other efforts if I have to get an Uber, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't? But I didn't even know that there was a thing called paratransit. That's one of the services, and I think oftentimes people aren't familiar with what's available to them in the community.
Right.
They would rather complain about it. They'd rather post negative things about it.
Yeah.
So I encourage everybody, not only in Hawthorne, but in all of your communities. I know that there's a borough website.
Yes. And we just redid our entire website. We worked on it. Not myself. Actually, Councilwoman Sasso worked on it with our clerk and another lady in the works in the office for little over the last year, and we just went live. I think the middle of July.
Okay. And is it Hawthorne NJ.org? I want to make sure I get the right one.
HawthorneNJ.org is our website. Yeah.
And listen, and on the website also, I want to point out that every week, the mayor puts a letter out to the community. If you're not it's called Nixle, Nixle. If you're not signed up, it's free to sign up. And it's not only the events that are going on, but if there's construction, if there are projects that are going to happen in town, it's just a way to stay on top of everything that happens. He puts it out 52 letters a week, and it comes out every Friday. So I encourage you guys to sign up. Not only if you're in Hawthorne, but whatever communities you're watching this, reach out, find out what that letter is. I know Glen Rock has one. I know all the surrounding communities have one. That way you could stay informed. And if you have a question, I love the fact that the phones are open. It's a public phone number.
Right.
There's no secret.
No.
If people have questions, they can call up and if they say I want to talk to the mayor, you're there for them.
I'm here, and Mayor Goldberg started it off during COVID.
Oh, with the letter. With the letter. Okay.
But it was a letter basically.
I remember those.
To me, it was a little depressing because he would post, how many people passed away in the borough and stuff. When I took office, I did that for maybe a month or two, and then I sat with Ellen and we came up with, let's make it a little bit more interesting for the residents to let them know, because we don't have a local newspaper anymore because they retired. But I want people to know what's going on in Hawthorne. What organization is going to do this or that or the other thing. And also with regard to, for sports. We have a lot of sports in town, and we advertise the games and stuff. And it's basically a newsletter that people have a beefsteak. The ambulance corps just had a fish and chips dinner. That we have the flyers in there from the different organizations that want to advertise. There's no cost for it. We just do it. Every Monday we start all over again. For the Friday letter, it goes out on Friday from maybe 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and it's actually we changed it a little bit now to a newsletter, so people are getting accustomed to that. And with that, what we also did, it's on our website, it's on Facebook, it's on several different avenues, and it is on Nixle, and it's just something that I know a lot of people read it. Sometimes I ask people, have you read my Friday letter? They say no. I said, well, here's how you can obtain it and read it. And all the flyers are basically telling people what's going on with whatever organization, sports, civic clubs, whatever, what's going on at the library, what's going on at the ambulance corps for the seniors. That to me is a real big thing, because a lot of seniors are not able to even get out of their homes because they don't have transportation or whatever, and that's when paratransit from the county steps in and helps us. But it's up to the individual to at least make the arrangements, and then paratransit will take over.
Well, and that's, since you talked about the seniors, I love how, obviously, you're a senior, I'm a senior now, and I love how you think about what programs they might like, what opportunities are, like paratransit. And one of the things that they started last year was, and again, I'm going to brag about you guys, but Ellen had reached out and said, the mayor would like to do a movie night. And as you guys know, the Towncast does movie nights when we can. And he specifically wanted to create a movie night for seniors so that they can get out of the house, they can come and see a movie, they don't have to spend any money. It's all free. And I love that you have that mindset. It's part of all the service that you've done. I mean, you add it all together, it's over 100 years of service. And I love that you do that. So I personally want to thank you.
Thank you.
Because it's
we're gonna be doing a movie night later in the fall.
Okay.
This year, right now.
All right. So listen, I'll let you guys know.
Look forward to my Friday letter.
And it'll be sign up for the Nixle letter, and we'll definitely put it out there as well once we get notifications to when it's going to be.
In order to sign up for Nixle, you can go to the borough calendar. It's in the borough calendar exactly how to do it, and I also started. I got a new feature in there now that is just geared for seniors. There's sports. There's general things that are going on in town. There's a road blockage, road repair, anything of that nature. There's a detour, and now we have it for seniors. Anything going on with seniors,
awesome. We
post that in there too, so that this way they can also read that.
And you mentioned road repair. So earlier this year, I get a thing in the mail saying, "Hey, we're going to be coming and tearing up your road, and we're going to tear up your property, and we have all this pipes that we have to replace." So I was concerned because my house was built in 1888. It's old, and I imagine the pipes are old. So I keep getting those letters saying, "Hey, if you, from the house to the street, you're responsible for that. If that breaks, you got to repair it. It's going to be $10,000, $15,000, $20,000." And when I got that notice and I saw the guys starting to build, I had to go out there and ask them. I said, "What exactly are you guys going to do?" And the town replaced all those pipes, did all that work, and I didn't pay a penny.
Right.
I mean, that to me that makes me emotional. The fact that, because I was worried about it. I mean, it happened to my parents years and years ago on Post Avenue, where they had a main break on their property, and they had to come dig it all out. I mean, it cost them a lot of money.
Yeah.
So having that repaired, I'm sure a lot of you that are watching this went through the same thing, and if not in Hawthorne, in other places, wherever you are. And the fact that the town did that, and yeah, it was inconvenient. You couldn't park, you couldn't drive, but it's all finished and it's all new.
Right. Well, that there was a state law. The Assembly and Senate passed it. Went to the governor. He signed it into law. And first of all, Hawthorne has absolutely no lead pipes at all. But the law says
How about that?
that it has to be, if you have lead water lines coming into your home, or you have galvanized pipe. Now, a lot of people have galvanized pipes.
Yeah.
Now, galvanized pipe is not lead, but that's in the law, so that's what we have to do. And it was state ordered, and communities pay. So the state told us this is what you have to do. It's a 10-year project. This is what is necessary. All the lines have to be copper. So we went out for bid, and we got very good companies to solicit bids for, and we're on phase 4 now, and we have 6 more phases to go, which is going to take us for probably another 5 years. But one thing that I want to stress is what I just said. We do not have any lead pipes coming to your home. We only have galvanized,
Yeah.
and copper, of course. But they do not dig up your property. They drill it right straight through, and it's only a day's project.
Yeah, I couldn't believe how fast they moved.
And that's what they do. But and then that copper is right to the water main in the street.
Yeah.
It goes to your curb box, and then it goes right to the street. But that's a project, and we're happy to do it because we just want to follow the law.
Yeah.
And help make sure our neighbors are getting good water. And then the other thing that the state passed also, which was a large undertaking for the borough, is the PFAS in the water system.
Yeah.
I
know there's been a lot of concerns about that.
There's a lot of concerns. Right now our water is very good. If you remember, there probably now maybe a year and a half ago, or a little bit longer, the EPA came out with more regulations of chemicals that are in the water, and the resin that we put into the tanks to clean and purify the water, so when it goes out to a home, there's no chemicals in it.
Yeah.
We were very fortunate to have one of our council persons who is in that field.
Oh, wow.
To say to us and tell us that we don't want to put carbon in for filters. We want resin, because
Yeah.
resin does actually a much better job, and it lasts longer. Has to be changed sometimes, maybe yearly or every year and a half. But there is a cost to it. But that's the way it is. But that was another law that was a state law and state mandate, and the boroughs and the communities had to foot the bill themselves.
Yeah.
So we paid for it. We borrowed money. We paid for it, and it was almost an $8 million project.
It's easy sometimes for the state to say, "Okay, you guys have to do this now."
Well, yeah. I mean, and unfortunately, the only way that we could have done it was by raising the rates.
Yeah.
We did raise them to 13%, and then after about a year and a half, we lowered it down back to 9%, and we're still looking at where we are with regard to can we lower it down anymore at this point, or do we have to wait maybe a little while longer?
See, and that's another thing, is that a lot of people don't understand, well, why are my rates going up? Why is the town raising my rates? It's not the fact that the town is raising the rates, it's that the state has mandated these things to happen, and
Correct.
someone has to pay for it. It's not like the state's coming in saying, here's $8 million for you to spend on building these, the water treatment facility.
Correct.
And I saw those are the big tanks by the pool.
Those are the big tanks by the pool, the big tanks by the pump house.
Yeah.
Off to the side. Also on Goffle Hill Road, almost across the street from Jefferson School. and down at the in the back by Wag Field where the ball fields are.
Yeah.
You know, it's so we put a little shrubbery around them. We're actually going to try to get more shrubbery to go around them, just to basically cover them a little bit, so they're not just an eyesore to everybody.
They're
I mean,
big.
we
They
are
big.
we are working with a resident now that you know we told them because it's right in their side yard.
Yeah.
It's you know I wouldn't want to look at it, but we had no choice. That's where the pump station was. So you know we're working with residents to you know put screening up so that this way it's at least presentable to some degree.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But you know that's the fact that you know oftentimes the state they have these mandates and it's up to each community to have to figure out how to pay for them. So you know when rates do go up and anybody that has any questions on stuff like that, just give the mayor's office a call and say I just had a question on why this is happening. I mean, there's always a good reason.
Yes.
What I loved also is I wanted to again I wanted to brag about you, but you know part of the beautification program. I've seen all the sidewalks now on Diamond Bridge and then going down Lafayette Ave. They've all been redone, and you know again you're driving, it's like more construction. What's happening?
Right.
But once it's finished, it's beautiful.
We started the streetscape project several years ago, and now we're up to Warburton and Lafayette, and hopefully, you know, we're going to continue to go up Lafayette Avenue to the end. It'll be several years,
Sure.
you know, in the making, but it does. And now what we've done, I've asked our engineer to install areas where we can, in working with our arborist, we're planting on new trees on Lafayette
nice.
Avenue too, to you know keep the greenery and you know make it more appealing. It's just not you know brick and stone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so that's happening, and we put in new street lights, and we're going along and basically talking about street lights. Not to change the subject, but I started a project on my own 1 year into my first term in working with public service to change a lot of the street lights from the high pressure sodium, that's the orange type light, to an LED. And the reason being is because the police department came to me and asked me, some of the streets are dark, some of them, you know, it would be better if they were lit much better. So I took it upon myself to basically agree with them, and so we've done a number of streets already, and we're continuing. It's an ongoing project because you know we're not the only customer for public service.
Right.
You know they have a lot of other communities that they work in,
Yeah.
but we are doing it, and it's also it's going to make it cheaper, a little bit cheaper for us to have the street lights, make it white instead of make it like orange.
Yeah.
So it's even better for pedestrians, it's better for drivers, and especially better for our police,
Yeah.
so they can see what's going on. It's just that's working out really well.
So, you talked a little bit about the challenges. What have you been in the last 3.5 years? What have you been most proud of?
Well, there's a lot. When I first ran, there was a number of people, residents, who have come to me and asked me if there's any way that I could help them with North 8th Street. North 8th Street is a two-way street.
That's a tough street.
It goes from Goffel Road, at the bottom of Goffel Road, all the way through into Prospect Park. It's a one-way. A lot of dump trucks, a lot of big trucks come down. The residents there have to park on the sidewalk.
It's awful.
Because
it's tough.
the street's not wide enough.
Yeah.
Basically, to make a long story short, I spoke with the county probably 3 months into my first year, and they said, well, let's give it some time. Let's see what we can work out. Let's get some ideas. And one thing led to another, and it took 3.5 years. The county did give us approval to make it a one-way, and they
Wow.
also spoke with Prospect Park, and Prospect Park, they after a little bit of negotiations and talks and stuff, they agreed that they would make it a one-way. So
Wow. So is it going to be one way coming down?
no,
into
it's going to
Hawthorne?
be one-way
Going
going
up.
from Hawthorne into Prospect Park,
Okay.
and it's going to be from Goffel Road to Halden Avenue.
Great. That's
Um,
awesome.
but Prospect Park isn't 100% ready yet. We're ready. We gave our ordinance to the county. Prospect Park gave their ordinance to the county, so the commissioners can approve it. And it's just a matter of Prospect Park. Just they said probably by the middle of October they'll be
Oh,
ready
that's
to
outstanding.
get it done.
I mean, there's plenty of other roads you can go down. You can go down Seventh. That's not a problem. It's going up, going up and down that street, especially if you have a truck coming down.
It's very difficult.
It's a nightmare.
And there's a lot of accidents that are there.
Yeah.
And people do not abide by the by the by the by the
The street
speed
signs and the
street
law.
signs with regard to 25 miles an hour. They go however fast. And one of the other things that I was approached with was a lot of vehicles in the beginning of the day and in the later part of the day back up on Watchung, North Watchung, and then on to Ray Ave Extension. So I asked the council if we could do something here to help our residents, because what we found was and I worked very closely with our police department. We found that
Yeah,
a
they're
lot
right down the hall.
right down the hall. A lot of the vehicles that come through there first thing in the morning from 6 to 9 are from North Halden, from Wayne, from all different communities.
Yeah.
And our residents can't even get out of their driveway because nobody gives you a break.
No, I know. Nobody
So
stops for anything.
we instituted that. The council approved that. They passed an ordinance, and it seems to be working out fine. The police can't be there every day, the whole entire time, because they have their own functions to do. I mean, now that school started, they're at the schools just to make sure everybody is safe when they get into school. But they are there, and they do give tickets, and there's a lot of repeat drivers that receive tickets.
Really?
And and
That's one of the easiest things to obey.
yeah,
You know what I mean? There's a lot of struggles in life. Going 25 miles an hour in a 25-mile-an-hour zone is not that complicated.
well, you also have a weight limit of 4 ton on the street too, and we do have dump trucks. We do have dump trucks with with a trailer behind it with a backhoe on it, and they
okay.
violate that too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And unfortunately, we had an accident in town, and we're addressing a lot of the items in that area to make it much safer than what it is. The one thing I have to say though, our Department of Public Works, those people, they work very hard during the day. The new director that I hired, because the old director retired, is just working out great. And now the road foreman has retired, so now we have a new foreman picked from the staff, and he's just doing a great job. He knows what he's doing, and he's just doing a great job. And they do work hard. We just do. We're out there all the time. Doing. We're painting hydrants. We're patching holes. We're doing whatever we can to make it easier for everybody else. Our property maintenance people are out there. I hired a new our zoning officer when I took over was here for a year and a half, 2 years, and I just hired a new zoning officer, and he's doing a magnificent job, just great. And I hired a new construction official because the construction official we had passed away, and he's doing a great job. A new fire inspector is doing a great job, and everybody's working hard.
I go back to what Ronald Reagan said years ago. He said, when you want to run something right, we're having some technology issues. No fault of the mayors. It's completely my fault. So I know we want to talk a little bit about the police department.
Yes, the police department, they're superior. They do a great job. They just help the residents as much as they can. But I have to say that over the last 3 years, I've hired 5 additional police officers, and now we have a full-blown traffic department. And our shifts are very good. We have a number of men and women on the shifts. I hired 2 women who are just superior, working out great. And our detective bureau and from our chief down just do a great job. Also, we have one of our detectives now is an RSO, which is a school resource officer, and he's in Lincoln School in the high school, and he's also doing a great job. They're just so they know what they're doing. They're smart. They're very good. Actually, the next council meeting, I'll be swearing in four of them as a permanent employee.
Oh, nice.
Permanent police officer. They've done their probation, and they've come out with flying colors.
Well, and the thing I love is that they're very approachable, and the programs that they run for the community, for the children of the community. And I encourage you guys, again, if you're not from the Hawthorne area, take a look at some of the programs like the leadership camp and the citizens awareness programs that they do. They really engage not just with the adults but also with the children. And I think touching them at that level, at that age, when they're children, and seeing that the police are not way up here, way over there. They're a member of the community.
Right.
They're here to serve. They're here to help, and they're here to keep us safe. I think it's awesome what the police department's done.
The majority of the police officers live in town. Also,
Yeah.
they're residents, and the police department has so many different programs for our youth.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
And we're probably one of the only departments in the whole metropolitan area that have so many programs for the youth, both in the elementary school and in the Lincoln School,
Yeah.
and in the high school. Other departments, call up and say, "What are you doing? How we heard about this program that you have." One of the other things is by all of our employees here in Borough Hall working hard together, we got, it was about $3.5 million last year in grants from different people and different organizations that we that have grants, and we applied and we received them, and we're very happy because that saves the taxpayer a lot of money.
Yeah.
And we're able to beautify the town even more. We put in
Using that grant money, so it's
Using the
not
grant
all
money.
coming out of our tax dollars.
It's not tax dollars.
Yeah, at all.
At all.
Wow.
And now we just started a whole new program, and I was amazed on how fast it caught on, and that's honoring our military, past, present.
Yeah.
And we're going to have, it's in the process now, probably, I'm going to say maybe within the next month, we'll have the banners up. We're going to have the banners on the poles like some other communities
Love
do.
that.
The committee that I appointed to do that has just been phenomenal. They're very, very hard workers, and And the residents, um, it, it, it they caught on so quickly.
Yeah.
There was 99 uh, uh, residents who asked to be, to have one of their family members
On the banners.
on the banner.
Yeah, and that's been in your weekly letter. I've
Yeah.
seen that.
Yeah.
And if you're not familiar with it, make sure you go to hawthornenj.org and take a look at the program, because I know we put it out there, and we received some response to that. I said, "Oh, how do we do?" I said, "Just contact the mayor's office. Here's the contact information." And it's, if you have a loved one that you want to honor, and you want to have a banner, you can sponsor your loved one to be on one of those banners that'll be
Correct.
in the community,
Correct.
which is great.
We also, purchased a lot of equipment for our DPW, new equipment for our DPW to make life easier for them, so that they can go ahead and, do a job with the right equipment.
Yeah.
And if you have the right tool, you can always do the right job.
And you do
you
it
can
quicker.
do it easier.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. We receive grants from the county. We just got a $200,000 grant for ADA bleachers
Oh, wow.
at our sports complexes, Franklin Field, on Wag Field, again, it's a grant, and it's not costing any tax. It's not coming out of
Yeah.
taxpayer dollars.
Well, it's great that you go after them.
We go after them all.
Yeah.
I mean, Eric and I and Ellen our clerk, get emails, and we got a lot of stuff for our fire department, grants for our fire department.
Sam, and a lot of people don't know that. They don't know the work that you guys are doing to secure those grants, so it's not coming out of our pocket.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we last year we partnered with Glen Rock, and we got new Scott packs. That's what the firemen wear when they go into a building. They have a mask on so they can breathe.
Ah, okay.
Basically like a scuba tank if you're going to dive into
Yeah,
the
yeah,
water. So that this way they go in and put the fire out. And they're breathing air, and they're probably going to be, each tank is probably worth about 20-25 minutes depending on each individual person.
Sure.
But and going the traffic bureau that we have, they're just out there, making sure that people stop for somebody that's crossing the road, and that's a state law. It's there's just so much that goes on a daily basis here.
Well, and I like the lights that you put.
We have the crossing light.
Yeah,
We
the
have the
crossing
crossing
lights. I
lights.
like that. The one on Lincoln Avenue, perfect.
Well, we put two on Lincoln Avenue, one on Lincoln and Kingston, and one on Van Winkle and Lincoln.
And Lincoln, yeah, perfect.
And that came from a resident. Resident came to the council meeting and said, is there any way that we could put something there, because we crossed there and we're afraid we're going to get hit.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Nobody stops.
No.
No.
So
Even if you have the sign up there, it's state law to stop it. People are in the crosswalks. They still don't stop.
Right, exactly.
You know who you are. I'm not calling out names.
But I spoke to Eric. Eric found some money, and we purchased them, and now hopefully it's a lot safer. And we
Yeah.
have them, well, on Ray Ave, we got those there, and it's just,
And they're run right by D's.
yes.
Right on Diamond Bridge Ave.
Correct.
On Hawthorne Ave.
And we're gonna hopefully look to get a couple more in a couple of different spots that are just, what we consider a danger for a pedestrian to cross.
Yeah, and I want to touch on that point too. I want to make sure that everybody understands. If you have questions, or you have things that worry you, or things that you think can be better in the community, whatever community it is, but in Hawthorne, contact the mayor's office and say, or go to a council meeting. The council meetings are every month. Was it the
First and third Wednesdays,
first and third Wednesdays of the month, and they start at
7:00.
7:00. And if you don't go, you can watch it. You can live stream it.
Right.
Is there a link? There's a link, I think, on the
Yeah,
borough
you
website,
can,
right?
Yep, and you could also, it's on Facebook. Almost right after the meeting is over, it's
Yeah,
up on
you can see it.
Facebook.
Yeah. So stop complaining.
It's on the website. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It's on the website also.
HawthorneNJ.org. So don't complain. Don't go on social media and say, "Oh, all this is happening." you can change. You can make change. Watch the council meetings, go to the council meetings, speak up, call the mayor's office. It's toll for, it's a local number, and they pick up and they answer your questions, and they're here to help. You can see the mayor's here to help. His whole staff is here to help, and it's trickle down. They see your desire to serve the community, and because I feel that they're the same way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Our whole office here, not just our office, the other departments.
All the departments. Yeah, the police
in the borough
department, too.
are here to work with us, not against us.
Yeah, yeah. And one last thing is the Hawthorne Fire Department and the Hawthorne Ambulance Department, they're volunteers. They volunteer their times. They go through the same training as your EMS workers that you see on Chicago PD and Chicago Fire and all these other NYPD shows. They go through the same training. The fire department goes through the same training. It's not like, well, you're in a small community, so you have smaller fires.
No.
No, a fire is a fire. So they go through the same training. So when you see them out there, give them a handshake, tell them thank you for watching out for us. When you see the mayor and you see some of the administrators, just give them a word of thanks. And if you have any concerns, any issues, give them a call.
Just one other thing,
Yeah.
as you mentioned just now, the fire department and the ambulance corps are always looking for new people. Unfortunately, the fire department has a program that you can, come down to the firehouse. You can talk with the guys. Doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman. We have both women and men on the department, and the ambulance corps has also basically the same type of a program where they have observers come in to ride with the EMTs on a call to see if it's something that they may like. We've had some people where after a little bit of riding, they said, no, it's not for me. And a lot of people are saying it is for me. So each individual person is different. But, the backlash of that is that for an EMT, for a person to become an EMT, it's a 260-hour course. It's usually about 6 months. And you have to take a state exam, and then you have to take a national exam now. And with the fire department, it's about a 240-hour course, and there's exams with that also.
And the relationships you make, I always envy the relationships of people on the force. The fire department, the ambulance corps, it's like a brotherhood, a sisterhood.
Very much so.
It's a family.
Very much so, and everybody looks out for each other, and as do the police. Everybody looks out for each other to make sure everybody goes home at the end of a call. It's a good camaraderie of men and women out there, serving the general public, not only a resident, but somebody just driving through town who may have an accident or, God forbid, a heart attack or anything of that nature. Both the fire department, the ambulance corps, and the police department are always right there to assist in anything that they're called upon to do.
Well, Mr. Mayor, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I know, I can't believe you're going to do another 4 years, try for another 4 years after
Thank you.
everything that you've
Thank
been
you.
doing. So again, I'll put the mayor's office number here, phone number, so if you want to reach out, and like you said, a resident said, hey, it's a problem crossing the street. You hear it. You hear what they're saying, and they do what they can to help. Just one resident, but it helps all the residents in the long run. So I thank you for that, and of course your department is amazing, and Ellen has just been outstanding, and we'll see what happens in November.
Great.
All right,
Yep.
and we'll see another 4 years.
Yep. And also, just one thing about November, I brought in early voting a year ago.
When does that start?
It starts 9 days before the general election.
Okay, so like the last week of October-ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll put a notice out. when
And
that's
it's much
ready.
easier to do it that way. You just walk in. It's at the library. The hours are posted on my Friday letter, so look at the letter, and you have full details. And it's much easier than going on election day.
Yeah.
Because usually there's not too many lines. If you go the first or second day, there's probably a line, but as the days go on, the line dwindles, and you don't have that much, that much time that you have to wait.
All right. So make sure you get that Nixle letter, and make sure you sign up for any newsletter in any of your communities, so you know what's going on in the community. And we try to post, the Towncast, we try to post it on all of our socials as well. And again, if you have any questions, call the office, and they're here to help. Obviously, it's clear they're here to help.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Appreciate all your service and all this other 100 years of things that you've been doing.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure to help the community.
All right. Be well, everybody.